Okay, come on, I gotta put you up. What is going on, guys? Today I'm running late, which is no surprise. Come on. I was trying to finish up a video, but I have a few things that I have planned to do today, so I'm not gonna be able to do that right now. Here you go. I'll be back, okay? I got a package in the mail from American Muscle too, which is pretty cool. They sent me 1 and 2 t-shirts, a keychain, some stickers, and they even sent me a giant American Muscle banner, which is awesome. So thanks to American Muscle for that. Oh, today I'm going to slap this gigantic drive shaft onto my car. I've got the sheet with the torque specs, got the drive shaft, just need to go load it up in the car now and we are good to go. I'm supposed to be there at 4, it is 3:35. The shop is around 45 minutes away. So I'm getting in the car right now. Let's go. Just casually carries a giant drive shaft through the parking lot. Got the drive shaft put in. I think we're good to go. Whew, that cold start though. We are about to pull up to Carco in West Monroe, which obviously if you guys have seen any of my previous videos of me getting anything painted, I've always done it here. They've painted my bumper on the Camaro, the Mustang. I did my Corsa exhaust here. I've done everything pretty much to any of my cars at this shop. So make sure you guys come and check them out. They always are really, really helpful whenever it comes to me needing a lift or anything like that. So huge thanks to those guys. Well, we're about to pull up right now onto the lift. All right, let's go get this done. Check out how big this thing is.
A room.
So that should hold. This dang car looks evil, man. This little drive shaft, the stock one is tiny. What we're about to do is get this X-pipe out of the way, and as you can see there's a stock drive shaft in there that we can easily access and then replace it with our solid one piece. There it goes, there it goes. Oh, we got it off in a bunch of different pieces. Yeah, I think if we just take out just these 18s, it'll actually come out with the rubber dampener still on it. Usually these are on there pretty loose, so got all the bolts taken out of this rear part of the drive shaft. Now we're gonna move up here to the carrier bearing and loosen this up. Now that we got that carrier bearing unbolted, we can go ahead and move on to the front part of this drive shaft. After these 3, it should drop down pretty simply. Oh, there it goes. Look at this rinky-dink thing here. Okay. So we got the stock one out, and just to show you guys basically the issues that these stock ones have, obviously it's a 2-piece drive shaft, which helps a lot with being really smooth to drive, everything like that. As you see, the drive shaft actually telescopes. It's got this carrier bearing as well as a rubber damper here up in the front. It really, really eliminates a lot of drive shaft vibrations, stuff like that, which is a problem that a lot of people have with these 1-piece drive shafts because it doesn't have a lot of these components and features. So let's go ahead without further ado and get this big ass drive shaft installed into this car. Usually the one how the Camaro was, at least whenever I did it on the Camaro, they had this same adapter plate and it bolted in just like this, slid onto that same little, that's why they had this little center thing. It centers in that output shaft. Okay, put in first. All right, so now that that's in gear, it's holding it still so we can torque it down. Okay, put it in neutral. Okay, back in first. Okay, neutral. Now we are good to set this up here and bolt up these front 4 bolts on the drive shaft. Then after we get these tightened down with our hands, we're gonna go ahead and get started on torquing them down with a torque wrench. I was debating on if I should do this under jack stands. I'm really glad that I decided not to. Okay, those are hand tight, so now we can put on this plate that goes back here, I believe. So we got to put this on first on there. So we just got the rears back here tightened up. Now we're about to torque them down. Set the e-brake real quick. Anytime you guys have this many bolts on a plate or anything like this, make sure you always go in the star pattern. So once we got that plate on there, we can go ahead and put this big CV joint up there. So right now we are getting the drive shaft bolted up to this rear plate that is on the rear diff. So we are almost done. After we get this all torqued down, along with the remaining fronts, then we will be ready to put the exhaust back on the car and go test drive it to make sure everything is all good. Hey Wade, put the e-brake back on. So we got all 6 of the rears tightened up. We got this billet adapter tightened up. Everything is torqued and set on the rear. All that we've got left now are these front ones, but unfortunately the drive shaft shop didn't consider trying to tighten these up. So we've got a bunch of various different tools, and in no way, shape, or form can you get any kind of tool to that bolt to tighten it up, as well as cannot get a torque wrench to it, even though they give you torque specs on a sheet. So the Allen key wouldn't even fit in there because it was too long also. So we are now cutting down an Allen key to hopefully get it to fit in the small gap that they left to tighten this up. So hopefully this works. Thankfully, this man here has some great ideas. So we got a torque wrench, and we got this tool right here that allows you to slip onto an Allen wrench, and that way you can torque it like this. That is awesome. So we got every bolt tightened and torqued on here. I believe we are good. It definitely will clear everything. On the drive back home, I'm gonna let you guys know about how vibration is. I'm actually curious. I know that I've heard a lot of bad stuff about the vibration out of these, but I'm hoping that this one in particular will not have issues. Well, I guess we can get started on putting that exhaust back on, huh? Well, I believe we've got everything tightened up and ready to go. Drive shaft is put in, as you guys can see right here. Exhaust is put back on. So last thing that I need to do is take these wheels off, torque up these axle nuts to the proper torque, and we will be good to go. It said 98 foot-pounds and then a quarter turn. All right, well, we have tightened up the axle nuts, tightened up the wheels. Everything should be set and good to go. I'm gonna go ahead now and lower the car down and get it off of the lift, and we're gonna go drive it around and make sure that everything checks out. I am super excited. Tomorrow night, we are taking this car to the track to go run it. I am super pumped. Cruising at about 35-40 miles an hour, and I don't feel any vibration. There's no noticeable vibration even in the shifter. I don't feel anything in my seats. Honestly though, I don't think that if there were any vibration, it would occur until I was on the highway going about 60-70 miles an hour. So after we leave here, I'm gonna go give it a try. It feels like it is definitely solid though. I can definitely feel much more solid shifts. It goes into gear a lot better. As soon as I touch onto the gas, this car just feels like it is a lot more responsive to acceleration now. There's no more give from that rubber damper. This thing is solid. I mean, even going into gear now, it feels just so much better. It doesn't clunk anymore. I'm honestly very surprised at how much this fixed. Okay, now we're at about 50 miles an hour, and there is definitely a noticeable vibration. That's a bummer. This baby rips now. Oh my gosh. Well guys, I just pulled up back to the shop. I'm gonna go inside now and go pay. I will talk to you guys as soon as we get back and are driving on the way home. Let me roll up the windows so you guys can hear me. Well, we got the drive shaft put in, we got the axles torqued down properly, everything is set up great. The only issue that I have to complain about is, as expected, there is a little bit of vibration from the drive shaft, but again, it's nothing too major. As you see, the rear view mirror isn't going crazy or anything, it's just barely vibrating. Obviously, that's because you're eliminating that rubber damper, you're eliminating a lot of the components that soften up that drive shaft shaking. from the two-piece to going to this one-piece, it is just completely a solid connection between the transmission to the drive shaft to the rear end. So you're obviously going to feel a little bit of harshness, but that harshness is a great trade-off for the added security that this drive shaft brings. So I'm not going to complain too much. I honestly was expecting, once I did the drive shaft and the axles, that it would be really ridiculously vibrating very bad and that I wouldn't be able to drive it, but it's really not all that bad at all. So that's probably going to be all for today's video, guys. Tomorrow I plan on going out to the track. We're going to get some test hits with this car. I'm going to try and get some practice and some seat time launching this car now that I have the axle and drive shaft set up. Trying to get prepared for June 23rd at the big YouTube call out. Once again, I know I've been mentioning a lot. I want to get as many of you guys out there as possible. I would love to meet a lot of you guys, and I can't wait for you to see this car run. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Like this video, drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think that this car is going to run now that we have this entire car ready for racing. I'm excited to see what I can do. As always, guys, until next video.